What's up, Eurovision people? It's SHAUUNZERS over here once again, and I'm joined by my lovely people from all over Europe. Not really all over, but yeah, you may remember some of them. Well, actually, you've all been here before, so it's the OG gang.
Yeah.
And I'll let you introduce yourselves. I'm going to start diagonally because she's back. She's back due to popular demand.
Yes, I'm back. Hi. Well, I'm back from Malta. I'm super excited because it's Eurovision week. I think I
Up
will go
north.
next to who? I'll go up, yes, up north.
Up it's here.
Up north?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, okay, Italy is north as well.
It's
To Malta.
up.
North of Malta is me in Italy, and I'm George. So hello. And now,
Hello, George. Hello, Becca. Hello, Sean. This is still Estonia calling.
And your 12 points go to?
So,
Well,
We'll find that out
Semi-final.
pretty soon.
Tomorrow. But before we do, semi-final one was yesterday, and we have to unpack that just a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about what went down to semi-final one. Bex, you weren't here for the prediction, so I'm going to start with you. Are you happy with the
No.
finalists? And does your heart bleed
yeah,
for anyone?
definitely for sure. I mean, I wanted Croatia to pass, but then again, I'm not like disappointed that Israel passed, but deep down, I still rooted for Croatia. Also, and Romania, despite having a weak vocalist and everything, I still rooted for her to pass. But then again, I believe that the best songs actually went through, so I am definitely very happy.
EPIX Eurovision guy.
Yeah, overall, there were no huge surprises. A little bit of a surprise was Belgium qualifying for me and Azerbaijan. But other than that, I thought mostly it was, either Croatia or Israel qualifying. And at the end, it was Israel. I did like Croatia's performance, but it was a tough semi-final, and I'm sad that Ireland didn't get through, but the vocals still weren't the best, so I understand why. Yeah, overall, pretty satisfied.
unsatisfied too, because my favorite, which is Eden Nalen, make it through. And I will say that after seeing the performances, it was quite easy to predict who was going to make it, in my opinion. Israel completely overshadowed Croatia. Belgium, I can see why they made it. They offered something completely different from the others. And maybe the only surprise for me was Norway. But I sensed that they had a really high televoting score, because I can see any juries voting for that. But a lot of people, I'm sure, enjoyed that, whatever it was, but they did.
Yeah, I mean, Norway, for me, it was not a surprise. I always thought it was going to qualify. I personally don't like it, and I personally
Same.
would have sent either Ireland or Croatia or even Romania through instead of Norway, but it's just too popular among people. And I don't know, juries, I think it finished top 10 for juries as well.
If Spirit in the Sky wasn't top 10, then this has no justification to be top 10 either.
I mean, juries are unpredictable.
And
I
which
agree with
ones,
both of you.
And which
But-
ones do you guys think were televote only and jury only qualifiers?
I think, well, first of all, I am happy with the qualifiers, just saying. I was rooting for Belgium. I did vote for Belgium. And I was rooting for Ukraine and Azerbaijan and Russia as well. And they all went through, so I'm thrilled. My heart bleeds for Ireland. I would have taken Ireland anytime over Norway. And I always knew Sweden was going to qualify. But if I could pick, I would have had Slovenia over Sweden.
Mhm.
But I guess that didn't happen. And Israel was great. Israel was great. It was always going to be Israel or Croatia, one of them. Initially, I thought that they will cancel each other out. That didn't happen. And then I thought Croatia would take it. That didn't happen. Israel took it. And I'm so glad she did, because I would have actually been sad if she didn't go through. So fair play.
Mhm.
I think
Those whistle notes
Belgium
deserve.
was very high in the jury vote. They definitely were higher in the
Yes, they
jury
were.
than the public. And I think Malta was very high in both votes. And
I think Malta won the semi-final hands down.
Yeah, probably.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
think
And
so, yeah.
Ukraine probably did do very well in the televoting. I wouldn't be surprised if they won the televote.
And,
I
and
only
even
hope
El
Ukraine is
Diablo of
very divisive.
Cyprus.
Oh,
yeah.
I think that one
That as
didn't
well,
do
yeah.
that well. I think that El Diablo was actually the disappointment of the night performance-wise, because the choreography was stiff.
I was impressed. I
The
was
straight
very
man
much
of
impressed.
Malta
I mean,
don't agree with you.
surprisingly,
Yeah, I mean, she's really pretty. She's hot, but the choreography was stiff. She could have done much more.
but then again, vocally, I was definitely impressed. I was like,
Oh yeah,
dang,
vocally
this
was
girl can
impressed.
sing. Yes,
Yeah.
but I do agree with you when it comes to dance move. It needed more for such a fiery song. It definitely needs more dance moves in the song.
Yeah, it needed a stronger live performer, but I was actually
More
very
fuego.
impressed. Yeah, I was actually very impressed by Elena's speaking voice because I was not expecting her to sound like a bimbo like that. She's like, "Oh, thank you, thank you." She speaks like that. When I first heard her, I burst out laughing.
The thing with Cyprus, my friends actually, one of them especially was like, "Is it only me? But it really sounds like Lady Gaga. This is a Lady Gaga copy."
Not
Yeah.
only you, honey.
Yeah,
Everyone's saying
everybody
that.
mentions it. Everybody's mentioning it.
But
And she was
let's
like,
be honest here,
this is
Lady
El
Gaga hasn't
Diablo.
had a song
I mean,
that good in
Alejandro.
years.
So this isn't only Eurofans, normal people. Well, normal people mentioned it right away as well. But it's not a negative, in my opinion. It's not a copy. It's just a similar vibe, a similar song, a similar performer. So I thought the staging was good, the voice was good, and definitely did well as well.
Yeah, I mean, for that much choreography, her voice really, it's good enough. To me, it's good enough. I was in a room with loud non-Euro fans, so again, I wasn't with people who watch Eurovision as much as me, and they mentioned the Lady Gaga thing as well, and
Yes.
I think that might have impacted the televote just a little bit, because even if they like the song, they would say, but it's in Maltese we have the phrase, we say "copiata," which literally means the song is plagiarized, and when you get the "copiata" bomb in Malta, no one votes for it. So I don't know, but I think she, for some reason, she dropped 3 or 4 places in the betting odds. So maybe they have some
I mean, the
insider
performance wasn't
information.
strong, in my opinion. I can see why it dropped so much. It wasn't very strong.
But
To
I
me, it was
mean,
never top 5 to begin with, anyway.
we
So
saw basically
Same, for
everything that was going on in the rehearsals already, and then it rose massively. So I don't know why it's dropping so much right now.
I don't know. I feel like she will end not much higher than Tamta in the end. Like maybe she will even open the final at this point.
it could be. It could be.
So far, it's either her or Israel to open the final.
Yeah, yeah. I don't hate that. Yeah, it
I'm
depends who
hoping that
qualifies.
Ukraine closes. Actually, they will be perfect
Perfectly
loser.
Actually, that would
Be good.
be nice if they
That will
close.
be
That would be good.
epic.
I'm hoping that Italy get a good spot, because
Well, they are in the second half already, so
yeah.
a huge plus.
Honestly, if the song is actually the best, as the bookies say, then it will win the televoting no matter where from.
Oh,
So
I
if
think
we
it will
go
win the
14th
televote anyway.
If
Yeah.
we go 14th, if we go 26th, there won't be much difference in the end.
Yeah. I want to quickly touch up on, well, actually, on the predictions video, all 3 of us, except Bex, because she wasn't here, we all got 8 qualifiers out of 10. So
How many did Panu get?
he got 8 as well.
All 8.
We all missed out on 2.
Oh.
And I want to quickly touch up on Romania, because I thought it wasn't that bad. The staging actually came together for me.
I know,
and
me too.
the vocals were probably the best I ever heard them. Still not the best, but they were the best I ever heard them. But essentially, I think what let it down, to me, the song was never there to begin with. And it's maybe some people will like it, but the people who will like it
I
really
like
have to
this
listen to it
song.
over and over, because you listen to it over and over again.
No, the song was actually instantly catchy for me, but the live presentation was
Oh,
so
same,
confused.
same.
It
And
was
then I
so all
kept
over the
on listening to
place.
it.
I can see why I didn't qualify. Like when I saw the live performance, she sounded decent, yeah. But that presentation was so messy. Like you couldn't even keep up with it. You were distracted by it even. And the song is much stronger than that presentation that they gave it. That presentation was just distracting. It didn't need it. It should have been just her on stage, like something like Christian Kostov.
I
I
didn't
mean,
hate it. I liked it.
at the end, I think,
Same.
like I've
I
repeated
think the
all over it,
dancers helped her. Oops.
like I repeated all over again before the rehearsals, even and after the rehearsals and the prediction video. I said this could be just too forgettable. This will just
It
be
was.
there. It's maybe too bland. It doesn't have an instant impact. And we had a strong semifinal, so I'm not surprised that it didn't qualify. I wouldn't have been surprised if it did qualify, but I think in the end, it probably came close, like 12th maybe, but yeah, not enough to qualify.
Well, it did get 12 points from the Italian televoting, that's for sure.
But I am sad for Roxanne because from what I heard, the Romanian delegation really accused Roxanne because of the non-qualification. They were really pissed at her, and Roxanne was crying her eyes
That's
out
not
after
nice.
the show.
That's not
She was
nice.
really
Poor
basically.
It's
girl.
not her
They
fault.
said
It's not
she
her
was the
fault.
only one to blame for the non-qualification. So that's not right in my opinion.
Have they been ripping out a
That's
page of
definitely
Spain's delegation's book? That's so not the way to support your artists, if that's true,
Yeah.
obviously.
exactly.
I don't know. Final thoughts on any other country? I'm just gonna go out and say I'm so glad that Azerbaijan qualified, because that was a fantastic performance, fantastic song. Effendi killed it live. I think, can I just say, I'm so happy we had an audience, because these kind of songs, they really needed an
Yes,
audience.
yes.
I mean, it was good
Amen
to
to
begin
that.
with, but with the audience, it just felt like a song that could have been, in the ethnic phases of Eurovision 2008 and 9,
Yeah.
and it would have done really, really well. For me,
Same,
Azerbaijan,
same,
Belgium,
same
Ukraine.
with Russia. I was
Yes,
impressed with Russia and with Ukraine. They gave amazing performance, and I agree with Sean's point of the audience with these songs. It definitely helps them and it pushes them even more. But I'm just so happy that Russia and Ukraine, surprisingly, they're not them big friends. They
You're
passed
right
anyway. I'm
about
just
Russia,
happy.
actually. You're right. I used to dislike Russian song, but after seeing the performance yesterday, I was blown away by Manisha's energy and stage presence, and I moved the Russian song up in my scoreboard
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it was really, really good.
Yeah,
And
And
talking
I
she
about
love
the
killed
her
it.
public,
message. She's revolutionary for Russia's Eurovision standards.
Yes,
yeah, and
yes,
talking
you are.
about the
And
public, I think how they came alive when the Lithuanian song started
yep,
clapping to the beat. It was like, oh my
yes,
God, we finally have Eurovision. We have all of
yes.
the
Oh my
yes.
God,
audience
yes.
here, and they were like, yeah,
I
disco
had
check, and they went
goosebumps.
crazy.
Me
Yeah,
too.
It
that was
it
amazing.
it was an amazing thing. It's like even when I watched it, like you actually forget that we skipped a year, and when you watch it, everything came together with all those and all the screaming. I was like, oh my God, finally we have something normal again. It
It
was an
feels like
amazing feeling.
we restarted life, doesn't it? For us Eurovision fans, it literally
Yes.
feels like life is back on. But yeah, we tend to forget Lithuania a lot, because they opened the show and they were always a definite qualifier. They were great. They were really,
Mm-hmm.
really good. And
Yes,
I
for
I'm
sure.
glad, like yesterday I was texting Bex all the time, and I was telling her I'm liking every
Yeah.
song because of the energy that the audience brought
Mm-hmm.
out. I even almost, really almost, not quite there, but I almost like North Macedonia. So that really shows how the audience
Definitely
just
not.
gave everything.
Definitely
I
not.
mean,
The
North
audience gave
Macedonia
everything to
was very decent. I mean, it is forgettable, and we basically talked over it. But watching it back, today I
Same.
rewatched the whole show. Just me and the screen. I wanted to hear everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I have nothing bad to
Same.
say about North Macedonia. I mean, the voice is good. The song, I mean, it's a bit boring, but It's
song is
beautiful
what
in a way, and the staging, it was perfect for the song. So decent
I'm
job
sorry,
from
but
North Macedonia.
I struggled keeping my attention, keeping my focus during Macedonia's performance. But when he started doing that reflection thing, I burst out laughing because it was serving something like Christ's transfiguration or something like that. That guy, at least the people I watched Eurovision with, all thought that he had megalomaniac complexes because I don't know. I felt secondhand embarrassment from him, and I'm happy that he's not qualified because seriously.
Oh, he was never going to qualify. We knew
Yeah.
that.
Well, semi-final 1 is over, and tomorrow is semi-final 2. And before this, by the way, if anyone just tuned in now,
Yes.
hello. We're talking
Hello.
about semi-final 2 predictions. I'm SHAUUNZERS, and these are my friends who actually can bear me and can bear Eurovision. And if you want to like this video, please feel free. And if you want to subscribe, that would be amazing. Yeah, semi-final 2 is tomorrow. And before this stream, we all gathered our 10 qualifier predictions. And just like semi-final 1, we agreed on 6. And I'm going to pull them up right now. They are Switzerland, Greece, Bulgaria, Finland, San Marino, and Iceland. Switzerland, I'm going to start with the Switzerland fanboy, sarcasm alert, Giorgio. I mean, this is a decent 6, right?
Yeah, they are going to qualify. There's no doubt on that. But now that they are down in the odds and pretty much with 0 chances of winning, I hate them much
They're going
less.
back up. They're now 5th.
Oh, they're now 5th? Okay. The hate is back. No, the song is still derivative of Arcade. That's what we all know about it. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what to expect for the performance because I saw a huge stage prop, but apparently they're going big for it. And I guess they're trying to set up a universe type of staging to fit the theme of the song, and they will have no problems qualifying this. Just hope that they won't win because I don't like when winners sound too much like the previous ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the next one that we all agreed on is
For sure.
Greece. And I know someone in Malta likes Greece very much.
Yes.
What do you think, Bex? This is qualifying,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I mean, she definitely improved. I mean, at first I was a bit skeptical about the song, but she definitely improved. And I'm really hoping that tomorrow she gives a very great performance because she has, it's a good song, so she has much more ways where she can explore and actually make use of the whole stage and everything. So I'm definitely rooting for Greece to actually pass. Would it then, when it comes to the final, then it depends. I mean, as long as it passes to the final, I'm happy.
Yeah.
We all
enough.
agree we'll be in the final.
Yeah. Bulgaria is
Yeah.
also in all of our lists. ESTON, do you want to talk about Bulgaria?
Yes.
Bulgaria, definitely. The staging is amazing, and I think it's not going to win, but a top 5 place, I wouldn't be surprised. In the final, from the semi-final, it will have no problems qualifying. And while I remember when I first reacted to the song, I said, I don't get winner vibes from it. I don't, feel the moment. But listening it over and over and over again, seeing the staging at the end when all the voices come together, and I mean, the lights, her personality, and everything comes together. It's just, it's so beautiful.
Yeah,
And
Victoria
I think
has the whole
it is.
package.
yeah, definitely. And after the rehearsals, I wouldn't be surprised if it finishes higher than Switzerland.
I think that she's gonna win the semifinal. Like from what we've seen, she has it
Yeah.
all.
I actually think so too. I think
She has a good
Bulgaria
chance.
definitely has the edge over Switzerland, primarily just because the performance feels more appropriate to the song. I think
Absolutely.
Switzerland is a little bit. It's not gonna be for everyone, and it's my mother's favorite, but it's not gonna be for everyone. And speaking of favorites, my initial favorite coming into this Eurovision was Finland, and we all agree that Finland is qualifying.
It's
And I'm actually gonna
Finland.
take this one. I think we haven't been talking about Finland a lot in rehearsal weeks, because they've done exactly what they needed to do. That is, take their national final performance and translate it on the Eurovision stage. And I think it's gonna peak at the right time, and it's gonna peak tomorrow evening at about 9:45 p.m. This should have no problems qualifying. I think this will win the televote in the semi-final, purely because Iceland is not gonna be everyone's cup of tea. I think it will come second in the televote, but I think Finland has a much broader appeal and a much more age sort of wide appeal than Iceland. And I definitely think Finland will be winning the televote. And I hope they don't do too badly with the jury, because I don't want that to translate in the final.
But
I
are
mean,
you
it
that
does
confident?
have a very wide appeal, I would say. Definitely, it's not a song for everyone, but
Oh, Finland or Iceland?
yeah, Finland.
Yeah, I said Finland has a
but
wide
it
appeal.
does have a very wide appeal. Even people who don't typically like rock are obsessed with this. So it will do very well. It will qualify, and the staging, it is a bit messy, in my opinion. Italy, in that sense, is much cleaner,
Sharper,
but
yeah.
the songs are different as well. The energy is different. The vibe is different. So a bit of this all over the place, that might be their intention as well. So at the end, it works. The vocals are there, and the energy is there, and the placement in the semi-final will definitely help them.
But aren't you guys worried about it? Like Hungary in 2018 had Viszlát nyár, a rock song, but it didn't do very well.
That was more heavy metal-ish.
This is more
This
accessible.
definitely is more broad. Yeah, exactly.
This is much
And
more mainstream. I get it.
this is pop.
And it's
Not
nostalgic as
pop
well.
rock, but violent pop, as they describe
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah, violent pop.
definitely, and it's
I
it's
mean,
a
it
familiar
definitely
sound to
it
everyone
reminds me
who
of
listen.
Lordi.
I mean,
You guys are
it's a
so
rock
cool.
song and it's from Finland, yeah, but I think
I mean, not Lordi exactly. It's not exactly, but I mean, when everyone saw them on stage with all those costumes and everything, people were like, "Oh my god, what the hell is this?" But then
it's
they
our
went
friend
through and
Panu.
actually they won. So,
Oh,
but then
Panu's
again,
there.
But why don't you join us?
All over the place for Finland was on purpose. Yeah, I guess that's the vibe that they're going with.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it will. I don't think it will hurt them that much. But purple bottom jeans looks with the fur. She hit the floor, and Florida's gonna be here. Who wants to talk about San Marino? Because if you won't, I will.
We all love San Marino.
Not me. You can go ahead.
Giorgio, you're as closest to San Marino.
Yeah, I'm
geographically.
close
mean,
to San
you can
Marino.
ask
I've been there
qualifying,
4
right?
times, actually. What about San Marino? It's that type of fun, carefree, unpretentious song and performance. It's like it's a freak show. We have to admit it's a freak show, but
The
it's
freaky
appropriate.
queen.
It's appropriate for Eurovision. It fits Senhit's personality perfectly, and I don't think that it will have any problems going through based on televoting alone. I don't see much love from the juries for obvious reasons, but I do think that the people will really appreciate this one. And it's a very sleek pop song, so this helps.
Yeah, I don't think the juries will destroy it that much, because
No,
it's
not
a big
destroy,
pop song.
but it will be
But-
lower top 10 in the jury vote, I guess.
Yeah.
But in the televoting, I
yeah.
expect something like 100 points, something like that, you know.
Wow, that's a huge water bottle.
How many lighters?
Gotta drink my 2 liters a day. That's the only way I keep track. Rebecca, you're not a big fan of San Marino, but it's qualifying, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a nice song, and I think with Afrojack in it, I think it would definitely have.
It's
this song. But
Florida, not
even though I'm
Afrojack.
not a big fan of San Marino, I will definitely see her going through the final. But I definitely see her passing to the final. So
Yeah, and Florida being
I
there
will be
will
happy for her
probably be
if she
smart.
passes.
I would be bawling my eyes out if this doesn't
Florida, not
qualify. But
Afrojack. I always mix them up.
yeah. And our last definite qualifier, unfortunately, won't be at the Ahoy Arena tomorrow or on Saturday. It's Iceland. We did get the
Yeah.
news that someone from the Icelandic team on stage tested positive for coronavirus.
But
So
aren't they
we
all
will be-
vaccinated?
That's very sad.
Surprised me.
we will be getting a rehearsal tape, which I think will be great anyway, because
Yeah.
I think the rehearsal was good to go. And I just hope they amp up the volume from the audience, and this should really, really do well. I
You
think
know
this
what?
can come top 3 in the televote.
I
And
actually hope
in the jury.
that they will be there, at least in the green room, like the ones that are negative to the coronavirus test.
Probably
It
not.
will be such a.
Yes.
But why not?
I don't think so, because
It would make no
There-
sense.
then why wouldn't they
close
perform
contact.
then?
Huh?
If they can be on the green room, why don't they go up on stage?
Because they want to perform all together, but to be there in the green room, it doesn't
But
really.
they were all in
It's not the
close
same thing.
contact. If one of them is positive, it's highly likely that someone else could get the virus as
They
well.
can take speedy
they-
tests and have the results by
They
tomorrow.
won't take that risk.
Well, we are not Centercom limited, so we won't give advice on coronavirus and quarantine details. But I'm hoping at least for a mountain Zoom call with them. Like I hope we'll see them at least in the hotel room if they're quarantining together.
Yes, at least. I mean, they came all the way from
They came all
Iceland,
this way,
and they waited 2 years for this, and they won't even
and I'm so mad.
perform.
I
It
feel
mean,
sorry for them.
that
I do
sucks,
feel sorry for
big
them, because
time.
if it was a song that had no chance to qualify, if this happened
Mhm.
with Poland, I would be like, well, it wasn't going to qualify anyway. So if we have to have a sacrificial lamb, might as well be a song that wouldn't have made it. Ideally, we wouldn't have anyone in this situation, but I'm really annoyed it's a winner contender, and maybe this will be, Irama 2.0, and this will not help it in its road to victory.
I don't think many will notice anyway, because like
The commentators will
clip,
say,
huh? The
the
commentators.
commentators will mention it.
Still, I don't think people will turn against him because of this.
I hope not. So those are the 6 countries that we all agree are going through, but there are 3 countries that we all think are out. And I'm going to pull a Debin Aderemi and say, out. They are Poland, Georgia, and Estonia. And let's start with Georgia, because I think it's the most obvious one.
Mhm.
Georgia, what do you think about Georgia?
I think that they're coming for last place, but I admire Torke for refusing the Swedish writing camp song that he was offered and coming up with something original that he himself likes. And he's going to represent Georgia with his head high. And even though he's certainly not going to qualify, he will have done his little show and he can be satisfied with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the North Macedonia of the semifinal too, so
Exactly.
yeah.
I think it's a bit better than North Macedonia, but
True, very
yeah,
true.
I don't see this coming more than 16th place. And it will be competing with another song that we all think is out. It's Poland. Bex, what do you think about Poland? Wow.
What do I think about Poland? He's a 40-year-old dude singing on auto-tune, thinking that he's still in his 20s. Oh, how sad. That's my thought on it.
That's it.
Yeah.
But it will definitely not pass.
Nice and brief.
I'm sorry. Yeah. It will not pass.
Second-handedly embarrassing, I would
Mhm.
say.
I love the song, but the performance and the
Yes,
vocals
it is.
are just not there. It's a hot mess. The vocals, I mean, he performed in Poland Voice Kids or something like that. That was
Poor
decent
kids.
live.
Poor kids.
Yeah, that was a decent live performance. But what they did in the
Yes.
rehearsals, I mean, come on. Yeah, I still love the song, but not live.
The song did grow on me, but I feel like the staging is too much. There's so unnecessary pyro going on. And I always feel like Poland has a difficult relationship with pyro. In 2018, they had Creepy Groomy and his ugly snake dance, and he was doing all of this while they were burning the pyro, burning the cash behind him. So if you're gonna invest in pyro, do it smartly. Give it a moment, like Eden Allen did yesterday. And literally, that pyro to me counted for 50% of the performance. Why are you having pyro throughout all of the song? I don't get it. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of electricity. It's a waste of people's labor. Poland is out. And the next country that we think is out, unfortunately, is Estonia. And we do have someone from Estonia. EPIX Eurovision guy. What do we think?
Yeah, it's out and it's competing with the before mentioned countries for the last position in the semi. The song is not bad. I do like the song. It's the best from Uku we've heard, but the staging is a big fat zero from at least what we saw from rehearsals. It will be forgotten. From the second position, no chance of qualifying in my opinion. And, a lot of people don't hate it, but they don't love it either. It's just, yeah, it's decent. It's there. And it won't bring Estonia any votes because it's just in the middle for everyone. And that's why I'm afraid it can be in the last position, because Georgia is at least niche enough, and that could get them votes. But Estonia is just so in the middle that, it's not qualifying, definitely.
But let me say one thing. I don't like how predictable the EBU is with the running orders. Like, it's clear that they put, literally, it's clear that they put in second position a song that they believe is not going to qualify. Why do they do that? Like,
yeah,
too predictable.
I agree.
Too formulaic.
It's so unfair,
Put Malta in the second position. Let's see how they do.
They will still qualify, but I feel like, in the semifinals you can play along with it, because if you would have had, I don't know, like if you would have had Lithuania, or if you would have had Sweden at second position, they would have qualified regardless. So why not spice it up a little bit and mix it up in the semifinals? I mean, these countries, all they need to do is qualify, and we knew that someone like Sweden would qualify anyway. So I was hoping Sweden would draw first half in the final, because to me that song screams second position, and it would have been really. I don't think it would have done badly from it either, but I think the bias is a little bit too exposed now. I mean, Montenegro was in second position last year as well,
and that was a certain not qualifier.
The problem with these people who are deciding the running orders and stuff like that is that they're all Scandinavian, and Scandinavian people are very mentally schematic. They lack spontaneity, in my opinion. Put an Italian or a Spaniard there, and it will be all over the place, but it will be very unpredictable.
Yeah, the French national final this year, that was the most unpredictable running order ever. So
because they're not schematic, they just do whatever. It's a show. Spice it up.
Yeah. So we agreed on 6 countries.
I guess. Do you want would you prefer the running order to be decided with a draw, so they draw the exact position?
Yeah. I love that.
I don't want 8 ballads in a row. I do think it should be a producer.
Well, we still have like 5 ballads in a row.
Exactly.
So it doesn't even
I
matter.
rest my case.
I actually prefer that the fate is the one deciding the running order, because so there will be no bias, no unfair advantages for anyone, and it will be all up to fate. But if they want to do it this way to have a better quality show, then it's up to them.
So we did agree on 6 countries qualifying and 3 that are not qualifying, and that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 countries on the border. This is my favorite part of the live stream, where we put our hands up or down. They are Albania, Serbia, Portugal, Denmark, Latvia, Czech Republic, Austria, and Moldova. And I'm going to start with Albania. 3 of us think that Albania is going through. Raise your hands, those who think she is. Oh, Rebecca Nicole de Guara. Do you want to kick
Rebecca Nicole de Guara. You have some explanation to do, Rebecca.
I mean, I'm not Okay, I will. I'm not impressed by this song. It's just, it's just my, it's just,
But do you think people will be impressed?
Just there, but I don't believe it will pass. No,
I mean,
no.
it's not
I
a
mean,
matter of
it's
personal
an
opinion
ethnic song,
here.
and taken from yesterday. I think no. Sorry.
I honestly can't picture a scenario where Albania doesn't qualify because the song stands out from the others. It's ethnic, yeah, but it's also very powerful. It has a very good production. And Angela on stage, she dominates everything. Like, she has a huge stage presence. She's very beautiful. I don't believe that Albania will struggle to qualify. They will have their moment tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of the song. It's nowhere. I mean, it's below 30th even for me, I think. I'm not a fan of the song, but it definitely most likely will qualify. I'm not saying it's 100%, but it has a good spot in the running order coming after Georgia, I believe, and before Portugal. So it will stand out enough to qualify. The staging from the rehearsals looks good. She sounds very good, as Albanians always do. So yeah, this is qualifying.
Yeah, I'm with ESTON on this one. I do think it's got a perfect spot in the running order. I do think it stands out. I don't think it's a definite qualifier. I do think it's borderline, and I can and cannot see it qualify. But I'm leaning more towards yes because it will stand out. And if we saw something from semifinal one, was that Belgium, because it was on a plane on its own, it really stood out. And I don't think this is qualifying in the higher regions of the semifinal, but yeah, I think this one is going through. 3 of us also think that Serbia is going through. Raise your hands, those who said Serbia. Bex, you said
Rebecca.
Serbia.
Yes, I
Okay,
said Serbia.
Giorgio.
I know, it's very weird. I said Serbia.
Yeah.
I really like Hurricane. I really like their act. And my only concern is that the song won't meet the taste of most of Europe because it's a very geographically limited song. It's turbo folk. It's something that outside of the Balkan region nobody listens to, and that's why I'm skeptical about them qualifying. And if they don't, they will be 11th, but still off. They really need to
Almost
convince.
doesn't count.
Yeah, I know, but they really, really need to convince people from completely different parts of Europe, culturally and geographically, to vote for them because I don't think that's the type of sound that people are going to vote for. I know that they will look amazing on stage, so maybe there will be enough, but song wise, I'm praying that I'm wrong here because I love that song, but yeah, I don't want to keep my hopes up.
Bex, you're not a Hurricane fan, but you think this is qualifying, and I'm glad you do. Tell us.
Yes, because to be honest, I mean, I saw them improving. So, I think compared to Hurricane, I mean, I preferred Hurricane than this year's, but they did definitely improve. So, I do think I can see and see them not pass at the same time. So, whether they pass, I would be happy for them. Even if they don't, I'd still be happy. It's just they did improve. So, I give them that.
Yeah, I think we have no Balkan countries in the final so far. Croatia, North Macedonia, and Slovenia all got knocked out. So I'm hoping we'll have at least 1 or 2. That is, if you don't count Bulgaria and Greece. And I'm hoping Serbia would be one of them. I do think that I came into this thinking the Croatia and Israel of semifinal 2 for me are Serbia and Moldova, in the sense that they are 2 songs that are more or less competing for the same votes. I came into Eurovision thinking that Moldova will take it, but I'm not going to say what I think about Moldova yet, but I do think Serbia is in there. So that's pretty much a prediction to what's coming.
Yeah, and definitely Serbia will be higher in the public vote. The jury will mark it down, and I don't know if it's enough to make them not qualify, but they're borderline.
Yeah, they are borderline. I do think they're borderline. Another borderline country is Portugal. 2 of us think that Portugal is going through. Raise your hands, those who love the Black Mamba.
It's not that I love the Black Mamba. It's just that
it's a prediction.
It's a prediction,
our
yeah.
top
I
ten.
think
Because you
that
think that the Black Mamba will be loved better.
so this song has a backstory, and the stage performance tells this backstory very well, apparently. And I think that the juries will cream themselves over this. So this is why I can see the Black Mamba qualifying. And also there's Portugal, no, sorry, there's Spain, there's France, and there's Switzerland voting in the same semifinal. These are three countries with huge Portuguese communities that gave 8, 10, or even 12 televoting points to Portugal no matter what. So I believe that they will make it through based on a combination of, jury voting and luck.
Bex, you don't think Portugal is going through?
No,
Please explain.
I mean, I never. What's the word? Okay. To be fair, it's definitely not my type of song. It's definitely not something I would hear, and I don't find it. I don't find it nothing. It's just literally, it's just there. I have the same feeling with the same as North Macedonia compared to the same. It's there, and I know that Georgia said there's a story behind it, but I mean, every song has a story behind it, So I mean, it wouldn't be a song after all. But I just know I definitely
So
don't
you
think
don't think
Portugal
people will connect to
go
the
through.
story?
It's a song that's very for. No, definitely not. No,
Okay.
it's very
I mean,
unforgettable song. Yes.
the staging really lifts the song. It's the perfect staging for Portugal. They nailed it this year. I do think that both actually the televoting and the juries will put this through. It will stand it out enough. It's kind of a niche song as well for a specific audience. It's kind of jazzy and it's different to everything else. His voice is very special, will be memorable. People either will love it or hate it, and I have this song has grown on me. I wasn't a huge fan at the beginning, but really seeing it all on stage come together, I'm pretty certain this will qualify. Not a locked qualifier, but I would be surprised if Portugal doesn't make it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Portugal doesn't make it, but it's definitely borderline. This was the last song I crossed off my list, and I do think it's very much elevated by the staging. But again, I'm going back to what happened in semifinal 1. Croatia was elevated by the staging, but it didn't qualify. North Macedonia, to an extent, was elevated by the staging, but it didn't qualify. And while I'm not saying this is better or worse, I do think it's better than North Macedonia. I think the song essentially will be the first call for voting. The people will vote first on the song. Then the staging can only help or, take away from it. And I just don't think the staging is enough to put this in the final. Unless it takes the spot of a song that I really want to qualify, I wouldn't hate to see it there. But again, backstories usually it's a hit or miss. It depends on how much the
Sorry.
commentators, bless you. It depends on how much the commentators actually shed light on it. I do agree with Giorgio. I think I overlooked how much how many friends Portugal has voting in the semifinal, but as of now, I still have it as a no. And yeah, I think Portugal is a no so far. Any final thoughts on Portugal? We can move on to Denmark. Two of us think that Denmark is going through. Who are we?
I think I put it through.
Yes, you did.
Okay, then me as well.
Kick us off,
So,
Eston.
yeah, Denmark and Austria. These two, I was debating so much. One of them will qualify. I even brought Moldova into the mix with those three. One of those three will qualify, and I couldn't decide which. Denmark will have the public vote support. It is quirky, it is funny, it is colorful, vivid, it's lost in the running order. But the juries, I can't see the juries supporting this. At the same time, Austria, great emotional ballad, but for the public, it's not a great spot in the running order. The jury will support it, but will it be enough to make it qualify? I don't know. Moldova, it's a wild horse. We have no idea what's going to happen with Moldova. I think it's a no, but not a certain one. So Denmark, it's extremely borderline. This was the last
As
country.
borderline as it gets, right?
Yeah, exactly. The running order really supports it. If it wasn't the last one in the semifinal, definitely no. But the running order really supports it. And it's a fun song. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's a fun song.
I can only think of Latvia 2017, Triana Park, who were last in the running order, and that didn't help them at all. I don't think that Denmark this year will flop that hard, but I also think that much like Hurricane, this is a song that is specifically liked in one area of Europe, specifically that part of Central Northern Europe. Like, it's not a song that people from Portugal, for example, are going to be voting for. And this is why I don't see it getting through. And also, as you said, the juries will not back this up. So I don't think they will gather enough points in the end to make it through. But I don't think they will be bottom 5 in the semifinal either. So, as you said, it is borderline.
Yeah, I agree with. Not I agree. I hope you're right about the Triana Park thing. That it actually happens every 4 years. Moye 3 in 2013, Triana Park in 2017, and if the
And in 2009, the Netherlands.
Exactly. So I didn't think about that one. I hope you're right. My last one was either Portugal or Denmark, and eventually I went for Denmark because A, the running order helps them. B, yes, viewers in Serbia won't be saying Dobre večer, viewers in Spain won't be saying Hola, but viewers in the United Kingdom will be saying, all right, mate. Viewers in Iceland will be saying Tusen tak. So where this music will do well, I think it will do really well. I hate it. I can't stand it. I don't like anything about it. It's in my bottom 5 of the whole year. But unfortunately, I have to start putting songs I don't like in my 10 predictions because Norway came back to bite me in the booty. So yeah, Denmark is very borderline, but I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but I think they will pull through. And there are a lot of male non-qualifiers in this one. And there has to be a woman that doesn't qualify, I guess, because something has to let it down. And I was thinking, another song, Portugal or this one. And eventually I gave my 10th, not my 10th, Europe's 10th spot to this one. Bex, Denmark.
Denmark. I mean, at first I was definitely not a fan of Denmark's song, but then as time passed, and I started listening to it. It has this catchy 90s vibe, and as you know, I'm a big fan of the 80s and 90s vibe. Then again, it's a borderline song. I feel that in this semi-final, there are a lot of borderline songs personally for me. So I that's why I didn't choose it, because I feel even though it's a 90s catchy song, some people would say, I think the global people don't see Eurovision. I think it would just be like, nah, they won't like it. So I think that again, it's a borderline song. But then again, there are too many borderline songs in the semi-final.
About that 90s thing that you said, I still remember a comment from Robin Gallagher from Wee Wee Blogs, who said that sound is absolutely nothing like the 90s, because in the 90s something like that was completely uncool. So so yeah, I don't know. And also I wanted to say something about Denmark's Eurovision history, because that country always sends everything so vanilla, so unflavored. Most of their songs sound exactly the same. This one is actually different from the others, but it's still vanilla, it's still flavorless.
And
just
Ben
can't
and
with
Tan
them.
were in your top 3.
Huh?
And Ben and Tan were in your top 3.
Yeah, they were flavorless, but I like them. But this
Well,
one is
Well, I'm pretty sure you like water then. No,
Yeah.
joking
You're the
aside,
one drinking water right now. 2 liters.
Me too.
I am dehydrated. Yeah, I hope Denmark doesn't qualify, but I think they eventually will. Speaking of a song, I really want to. Well, no. Two people think Latvia is going.
Yeah.
Two people think Latvia is going through. Raise your hands
That's
proudly up in the
Eston's favorite
sky.
song.
Bet.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said no, though.
I'm gonna set up the defense before the attack comes. Listen, first of all, I am mentally preparing myself for Latvia not to qualify. I am trying to get comfortable with the idea. I am not, but I'm trying to prepare myself for it because it could happen. Let's face it. It could. It is borderline, and I love it. This is my 5th place in 2021. I find Samantha Tina one of, if not the most compelling artist of 2021. I think that the song is great. It will have its haters, as we will see later on. It will have its fans, as you can clearly see on the top left and bottom right of this screen. However, I don't hate the staging. The press said so many negative things about the staging. I think the staging is actually really good. I love the dress. ESTON doesn't. I like everything about this. And one of the problems that the journalists pointed out with the rehearsal was that there were too many white shots. And again, I go back to last night. The white shots were there, but they were good because of the audience and because of the flag going around. So it didn't kill the mood as much as it does in rehearsals. And again, just for the sake of Eurovision references and backing up my narrative, who thought Hvalane would qualify? Who thought the juries would put Hvalane in their top 10? That's the same thing here. It's a woman empowerment song. It's very in your face, you know, I'm a woman, I'm a ruler. You will understand this is a girl power song. It's an anthem. It's, again, Samantha Tina is really compelling. It comes late in the running order, and it's coming after a commercial break. So, you know, the energy of Finland will phase out just in time for Latvia, I think. And ultimately, there are a lot of women empowerment songs this year. I think in semi-final 2, this is the only one. So if there will be juries who say, you know what, let's just give it to the woman, this will be it. If there are people who will say, oh my God, I don't like anything, just vote for the one doing women empowerment, that might happen. Tamara Todevska won the jury vote where no one expected her to do so. That's my defense. Giorgio, what do you think?
No. I disagree because I don't think this is even borderline.
I want my defense as well.
I was
Sure.
defended then. Go on.
Come on, Giorgio, it's your turn to speak.
I say my defense.
Oh, it's my time.
Well, please.
Becca wanted to say something.
Sean just
Sorry,
gave you the
Giorgio.
word.
No. I don't
It's your
think that this is even borderline. Like, to me, this is bottom 3 along with the ones that we discussed before. The problem with this song is that it's such a scream fest, and scream fests don't tend to do well at Eurovision, and especially they don't do well commercially in these years either. Like, I love the song personally, but I recognize that there is too much going on there, and the public will just be left confused and a little bit sore in the ears, maybe. So yeah, I don't see it for Latvia at all. And Latvia, yeah, they can rely on Estonia's votes, like the televoting in the end. Not on
I
ESTON's.
doubt that Estonia will give this high marks. This is not a song that Estonians would like or listen to.
Well, then they have nothing left, I guess. I don't know. I just can't see it for it. Like, I will be genuinely shocked if they make it through.
Eston, I'm gonna go to you, so then we end with the defense.
Of course you want to end on a positive note. Okay, I'm trying to not repeat myself and go on ranting too much. Of course, it's not a song that I personally like, but trying to think what could happen. Coming after Finland, which is it's powerful, it's impactful, but it has so much, broader audience that could like it. Latvia after it, just, the whole song, it's too off-putting for a lot of people. And the green that they're wearing. Seriously, if this doesn't win Barbara Dex, then who will?
Tix
This is
will.
The green
This
is
is a
cursed at Eurovision.
this is a perfect candidate. It's too much of everything. Like Jojo says, it's just screaming for 3 minutes. And I don't see how this could qualify. Of course, there will be huge fans of this. It's a very divisive entry, but we can't compare this to Tamara Tadevska. That was a beautiful ballad with a powerful voice. I wasn't a huge fan of it either, but it was clear why the juries ranked it highly. Not first, obviously, but
Yeah.
still, it was obvious it's going to be high in the jury votes. For Latvia, I don't say disqualifying. Maybe in the public vote it will sneak into the bottom part of top 10, but in the jury vote, no way.
Well, I was expecting your criticism to be much harsher and take out the Barbara Dex thing. I think that was very fair. Bex, round us out.
Or not.
I think she has a
Yes,
little
so
bit
I
of a
love
delay.
this song. It's about women empowerment. I am all in favor of that. I know this song maybe, as Georgia describes as scream, but then again, she's using her voice to actually scream to the world, "Hello, I'm a woman. You don't treat me like basically like she's gonna put me on the side." So if she wants to scream, she did scream. And when it comes to staging, at first I was a bit skeptical, but then when I saw everything put together, it's actually quite beautiful. And even the color of her dress, it's not like what we saw yesterday. Everyone was wearing, bodysuits. She's actually wearing a nice dress, and she's showing like do what being a woman and be proud of it. So I'm definitely in favor of the song. Maybe I'm a bit biased because I am a woman, but I love the way she presents the song, the way the message behind the song. So I'm definitely in for Latvia. Then again, I'm preparing myself. If it doesn't pass, I might put up a tantrum, but I have to prepare myself.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
do
my
think it's a
opinion.
possibility that it doesn't qualify. And I hope it does, because I will shed a tear more than I did for Ireland if this doesn't qualify.
Mm-hmm.
We only have 3 countries left to talk about. 2 of us think that Czech Republic is going through. Raise your hands, those who think Benny will be loved.
There's only one.
There are
Oh.
2.
No, there's 2.
Now there's.
Okay. This is more wishful thinking than anything to me, because I really love Benny and I really trust his stage presence and charisma. I know that he didn't get through in the rehearsals, but that's because I don't think he was giving his maximum, Like he was saving all of his energy for the actual shows, actually, because he's performing right now. And yeah, I just want to delude myself that he can still make it because the song is valid. He's very cool to the general public. He has a broad appeal, and he's not a favorite to make it, but there is always an underdog that makes it, and I hope that it's him this year. Just a lot of
I
wishful
hope it's
thinking here.
Samantha Tina. I really hope it's Samantha Tina. I do want Benny to qualify. The song is in my top 10 this year, but I'm just so disappointed by the performance and the staging. And yes, Benny has the potential to really switch it up live, but it's also the running order does this no favors. And if we're talking about borderline qualifiers, then we're going to start talking about running order helping or killing. And that's where I tend to favor Latvia and Denmark. And that's where I don't really see, neither. Well, we only talked about Estonia and Czech Republic in the really early regions. I don't think Estonia is borderline at all. And I definitely think Czech Republic, unfortunately, is a borderline most likely to not qualify. But again, if this qualifies, I'm not resenting it.
I would be happy if this qualifies. Of course, if the live performance is good, the rehearsal was not good, especially vocally. The staging, I expected something like that. I mean, it's pretty similar with the colors and shapes in the background to the music video. I think the staging is fun, energetic. Well, it will be if it goes well. I wouldn't rule this out. Personally, I really like this song. But like you said, the running order does not do this really any favors. Coming after Estonia, it's a positive, but I think Greece is up next after Czech Republic. So yeah, that will mark it down. And I mean, if Benny gets his energy together and performs well vocally, which we all know he can do, it has a chance, but an outside one. And I'm leaning towards a no. I would like it to go through, but I doubt it.
Bex, I remember you not liking this one at all, so I'm interested to see why you think this will qualify.
Because as what Giorgio said, he has charisma, and even his staging presence, it's there. So I think it would definitely go through this one. I mean, even though as you said, I was not a very big fan of this song, but his presence does make a difference, you know, when you're singing a song, it does. So that's why I give it a shot, and I think it will go through.
From your mouth to God. One of us thinks that Austria is going through.
Oh, it's just me. Well, I purely think it will make it through because it's such a jury-based song. And if there is going to be a song this year that the juries overrate to death, but that the televoting pays dust to, it's going to be Austria. That's all I think about it. If it doesn't make it, I'm not going to be surprised, but if I had to place my bets on the overrated jury act of the year, that will be Austria. That's it.
Yeah, like I said with Denmark before, this was a so difficult debate for me. Personally, I would put Austria through, no question. It's not among my favorites, but I do like the song. I think it's a good ballad, and I don't know if the public gives it enough support, it does have a good chance of qualifying. And more thinking about it, maybe I could swap Austria and Denmark, so Austria would qualify. But I don't know. It's so borderline, and it really depends. You know, jury will love this, and actually, the public might love it too. It might end up like 6th or 7th qualifier. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But also, it could end up like 13th or 14th. So this is, I think, so unpredictable, and I just don't know what happens. Yeah.
Let me put you out of your misery. I cannot see this one coming more than 16th in the televote, and that is really pushing it. And I'll tell you why. The bottom regions of the semi-final, we've got Denmark, we've got Poland, we've got Latvia, we've got even Estonia. I think that the televote here or there will give them something. I mean, even Georgia has a couple of friends here and there. I think Georgia will get a few points from Latvia, maybe from Estonia as well. What has Austria got? I mean, I've said it in the past and I say it again. Panda got 0, and that song, to me at least, had more of a niche audience that could have really tuned for it and for it alone. And Vincent Bueno, no, I cannot see this doing well at all in the televote. It might, yeah, I do think the juries will definitely root for this more than the televote, but we also have a lot of jury bait in the semi-final. We have Switzerland, we have Bulgaria. I can't see the juries completely throwing away Iceland. I can't see the juries completely throwing away Finland. And there's someone else. Greece is going to do well with the juries. Greece, you know, this kind of high-end, I mean, juries do vote for staging sometimes. So I do think this, jury-wise, this semi-final is definitely stacked, as opposed to semi-final 1, where we had the Russias, the Azerbaijans, the Ukraines, which are definitely more televote bait. I do think that Austria will end up it can be borderline because of the big disparity with both things, but to me there is no song except maybe Georgia, and that's why I said 16th, not 17th. To me, there is no other song that can compete for last place in the televote. Bex, you want to close us off on Austria?
Austria. What is there to say about Austria? He's singing amen in the song. Doesn't get past? Definitely not. I am sorry, but apparently this year the devil is passing through and the angels are sitting on the side. So
well, the angel that fell from the sky
go through.
is unfortunately
I'm sorry,
sitting in the
Giorgio.
final as well.
Austria's bye.
I'm not a fan of it anyway.
Well,
it's not. It's a prediction video. It's not our
Yeah.
top 10 video. So what we think doesn't matter here. It's what we think Europe will think.
Yeah. There's
We're
one more
jurors.
country we haven't talked about, and it is Moldova. And one of us thinks that Moldova is going through. Raise your hand. Who she is. She knows that it's her. A shy hand. Start the defense.
Okay, Moldova. Me?
Yes, you're
Yeah,
the one.
okay.
You're the only one that thinks it's going through.
Moldova. I love Moldova. I mean, it's sugar. You know. I like it. I know that it may not qualify, but I'm still hoping. This is me with Romania. I'm hoping that Moldova will go through. If it doesn't go through, I will maybe be a bit sad for a little while, but then I will get over it. It's a very catchy song. I would want to dance with it. It's it's sugar.
Europe would want to dance with it.
I guess sugar. And I just love Moldova. And I want her to go through.
EPIX Eurovision guy. Is Moldova gonna be epic?
Maybe. It's borderline as well. I mean, the staging did disappoint. I think we all agree on that. But it's also not a huge flop. I mean, it's not terrible. They do their dance moves. It is kind of catchy. The colors, they work. There's the spinning thingy. And it's not terrible, but it could be too bland and too boring. Not the song wise, but performance wise. Yeah, I'm leaning towards a non-qualification right now. But as I said, Moldova, Austria, and Denmark keep changing places in my prediction, so I have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Giorgio, is Moldova playing musical chairs in your prediction?
No, not really. Bland is the right word to describe it in my opinion. I was never a fan of the song personally. I found it tacky, but not in an entertaining way. And even though I love Natalia, I don't think that she's giving her best here. And, between the dated Kirkorov production and the underwhelming staging, I don't think there is much to say about this act. She's just beautiful, but as Aretha Franklin once said, beautiful gowns, great gowns, and nothing else to say.
Fair enough. I really do like the song. I've had it on my playlist and I've been going. I've been doing all of that. No, that's Lithuania.
Yeah, and that's miles better.
It is, but it's not in the semifinal, so it won't get its votes. I do love it. I would want to see it qualify. I think the Bobs have done a better job. The other Bobs, Serbia, Serbia mainly. I do have it on the fence, definitely, much more than Austria. But yeah, the staging let them down, I think. And I'm surprised because this is for Kasavagelinos and he's expensive. And I'm not in favor of name dropping in terms of staging. I mean, Marvin Dietman hasn't qualified with one song yet and he has 7. So it's difficult, but we obviously did expect more. And also Natalia's vocals. I
So-
can see, yesterday there were 2 songs with vocal problems, 3 at a push, and none of them went through. So it shows that perhaps the juries are actually marking down singers whose vocals are underwhelming.
So they're combining the tackiest Eurovision music producer with the tackiest Eurovision stage producer for Moldova's entry. I don't think this has any chances. And also, how can you say there will be vocal problems when all she does in this song is whispering? Like, if you can't even whisper, then how can you call yourself a singer?
But there are still vocal problems in that whispering.
Yeah, and that's tragic.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything bad about Natalia because I really love her, but the package is not there. I really don't see it for her. If she does, good for her, but it's not something that I will want to root for, and it's not something that I think will catch anybody's attention.
Am I
I've done
wrong?
much more with it.
Am I wrong in saying this will be the first Kirkorov-backed song that doesn't qualify?
Estonia's there as well.
Who?
Estonia is there as well with Kirkorov.
It's not Kirkorov, it's Sharon Vaughan.
Yeah, but Kirkorov is in the team.
Mhm.
It was last year and he is this year as well.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought Uku wrote the song alone, but
No, he did. Kirkorov wasn't the songwriter, but he's in the team.
okay. And what is
It's
he
a
doing
new
in the team?
decade.
I have no idea, but it's supporting it. I don't know, the performance maybe somehow. He's a part of the team. Maybe he helped with the songwriting as well to an extent. But Uku has confirmed multiple times that he's in contact with Kirkorov. He was in the Eesti Laul as well, contact with him, and they are communicating pretty actively. So, yeah.
Well,
No,
I'm
it's a
guessing
new
it won't be a
decade.
good night for Kirkorov then.
No, it's a new
Probably
decade. It's about time that we leave these people behind. Like, seriously, you had your chance to win. You did well in the past, but now your vision is completely outdated and obsolete. Either you update yourself or you just accept that you're a remnant of the past. And this is my message for Kirkorov. I'm sorry, but you've become ridiculous.
I mean, he's always been pretty ridiculous, to be honest.
Yeah, but he produced amazing music in the past. The problem is that his music stayed the same. It's kind of like when you think of Red One, who did Lady Gaga's albums in 2010, and now you hear his productions and they're still the same, and they flop and flop and flop and flop because he couldn't update himself. Kirkorov has the same problem. The world has moved on, but he's still staying the same
Yeah, I mean,
as he was.
he is stuck in the 80s. In the Soviet era, I would say.
Yeah, he's still in the Soviet era.
At
Oh,
least he's
bless
ditched his
him.
wig.
Sorry?
At least he's ditched his wig because he's modeling his white hair. Well, we talked about all 70 songs in the semi-final, and one final question: who are you guys rooting for? I'm gonna start out. I'm gonna say obviously Latvia, but San Marino and Finland are there for me. ESTON?
Let me check the list quickly. So I see
Okay,
all
while
the songs.
You're rooting for Latvia, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm rooting for Latvia to be in the last position. Absolutely.
We seem to have some technical issues in Estonia.
Well,
We'll go back to Estonia. Italy, who are you rooting for?
Italy is rooting for Bulgaria, who is my #1 favorite of the year. And I also have my underdog Czech Republic in the semifinal. He's in my top 10, and I really hope that... Oh, he's gone.
Sean is gone.
No, he's back. Okay.
Oh, we lost
We
someone
lost
for a
you,
minute.
but you're
Oh, he's
back.
back.
Okay. I don't think he hears us. He looks confused.
There's something going on.
I'm not.
Dun, dun, dun. He's very lost.
Yeah, he's lost in Verona.
What happened?
Well,
Can he just text us and tell us what's wrong?
He's in his own world right now. And Sean is stuck.
Stuck with a duck face.
That's the perfect frame. Just a. Let's all do the Sean face.
No, Becca's gone.
We've lost Malta.
She's actually.
Malta has
entirely.
run out of internet.
No, we still hear Becca. Okay, we can see.
No one did. Now Giorgio is lost. Come on, what's going on? Everybody's going.
I'm here. Who's the fifth person? Okay.
Okay. Are we okay? I think it was my problem, right?
It was your problem, of
Yeah.
course.
I'm really sorry.
You are always the one to blame.
And we changed
beg to differ.
positions. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
we did.
Eston, we switched positions.
So
Becca's gone
Eston,
again.
yeah, she'll
Becca's
come
gone.
back. Eston, who are you rooting for to qualify before the Wi-Fi dies again?
How do you mean the question? I mean, do you mean my favorites or the underdogs that I'm rooting to qualify, or in what sense?
Who will you cry for if they don't qualify?
Oh, many countries.
Oh.
Definitely Belarus, Finland. Not Belarus. Belarus, Bulgaria. Sorry. Not Belarus. They're not even here. So I can't.
And neither is Becca.
Neither is Becca. And he's back, I think.
She's back.
Becca is Becca.
He's Becca. So, okay, I'm hoping Greece, Iceland, Portugal, Bulgaria, Finland, Switzerland will go through.
Giorgio, who are you rooting for?
I already said it, but you were gone, so I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
I said my number one favorite of the year is Bulgaria, so I'm rooting for them, and I have high expectations from her. And my underdog favorite is the Czech Republic, but most of my favorites were in the other semifinals, so I don't really care too much about this one, and I'm happy that Italy got to vote in the first semifinal and that I helped Israel qualify. For this one, I don't really care much outside of Bulgaria, so anything is fine. Off to you,
Correct
Becca.
me if I'm wrong. Latvia is almost in your top 10, right?
Almost. Yeah, but I don't care too much about it. Like, I only care about my top 6 or something like that.
Bex, who are you rooting for?
Latvia and Finland.
Yes.
For sure.
Well, that's it.
Of course, I'm rooting for Estonia as well, but I know they won't qualify.
Pardon,
Fair
Becca?
enough.
I was agreeing with Georgia. I mean, I prefer semifinal 1 over semifinal 2. So semifinal 1 was definitely better than semifinal 2.
Well, and that's the last note. I want to thank you guys for joining this live stream, and I want to thank anyone who watched us. Semifinal 2 is tomorrow, so let's hope for the best. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Please like this video. We will be back on Friday to discuss the running order for the final and the final predictions. It will be my last live stream for a very long while. So yeah, one last one. EPIX Eurovision guy, I won't see you on Friday, right?
Probably not. Yeah, I'm working on Friday.
Well, we will miss you, and we thank you for gracing us with your company while you did.
Thank you for the invite.
See you later, guys. Stay safe and stay sane. Bye-bye.